Hey there, Capricorn. It's Ashley. How are you? We're going to do your wrap-up reading for the end of November. So this reading will be applicable to the week of the 22nd. Next week, I'll be doing the December forecast, so you can consider this reading to apply to the rest of November. And we're going to do something a little bit different today. So, this week in the U.S., we're celebrating Thanksgiving. And regardless of how you feel about that holiday, I do enjoy the fact that there's a lot of focus around gratitude. And with that being one of the highest vibrational emotions that we can experience, I thought it'd be fun to do just kind of a feel-good reading about gratitude and things that we've accomplished this year. So in this first row, we're going to look at something that you have accomplished this year that you should be proud of in yourself. In the second row, we're going to look at what your guides would like to kind of give you a shout out for. Get some acknowledgement from your guides, your ancestors, on something they've observed in you this past year that they would like to communicate to you. And in the final row, we're going to look and see what's coming in between now and the end of the calendar year that is exciting. What good is coming towards you? Something to look forward to as we kind of wrap up 2021. So, okay, that flew out. It says, change maker makes waves. Interesting. I'm actually going to get one more there, since that kind of, okay, move beyond the intention into belief. Okay. We're going to get some tarot, and then we're going to clarify the reading and get an idea of what intense work you have been up to this year that needs some kudos. And, you know, I feel like we've had a couple of intense years here collectively. And so a lot of what's been coming through in these readings has been some hard changes, right? And I feel like, you know, when we experience something like that, a lot of times we focus on just how difficult it's been. But I feel like, you know, we can take a lot of wisdom from those things. And, you know, once we've climbed a huge mountain, sometimes we just immediately move on to the next mountain, and we don't take enough time to really reflect on just how much strength we've developed. So let's see what we have to say for Capricorn. Got the 9 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, kind of wanted to come out with that. And the 7 of Cups. The 6 of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Chariot. The Page of Swords, the Fool, and the 3 of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, ooh, we have the Ace of Wands. So, could certainly have had a new passionate endeavor that has happened this year for you. Some new sort of creative project, could have been a new romance even. But some sort of passion ignited. I mean, we do have the Making Waves card coming up in the future. So, it could be that you've started something And coming up here pretty quick, it's going to start to show up in a big way. So in your first row, we have, I can pick it up, tender embrace. So I feel like what this is talking about could certainly be a relationship dynamic, some sort of loving relationship. Doesn't have to be a romance. But I feel like you've been through some struggles in this particular area of your life this past year. And that's certainly showing up with this Nine of Swords energy. Could have been dealing with a situation that wasn't quite fair. The Six of Pentacles has been a big card in the last couple of months. There's been a lot of evaluation on equal give and take in relationship dynamics. But what I really feel like from that card, we're going to get some more detail here, but with that tender embrace card, I feel like what it's actually done for you has actually been very heart expanding. That's shown up in a couple of these readings where it's like the heart grew 10 times its original size kind of feeling. And I feel like it's actually opened you up to a more deep, open-hearted way of expressing love and receiving love, even if there were some painful things that took place in order to get you to that place. So we're going to get some more detail here and see what that might have been for you. So with the Nine of Swords, you get the King of Swords. Could have been dealing with an air sign. And the Empress. That's some Taurus Libra showing up there. With the Six of Pentacles, we have the Three of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. The Page of Swords, we have the Eight of Cups and the Devil. So I do feel like there was definitely a relationship dynamic here that caused a ton of stress. Could have been a soulmate connection as I'm picking up these cards. And I feel like you gave a lot of time and energy to this situation. It definitely was imbalanced. And I do feel that the more time and effort you continued to put into this in order to make it work, the more your heart broke open. Because there was like a resistance. There was a block here. I do feel like somebody here was definitely overthinking in this situation. It could have been that King of Swords energy. I also feel like one person in this dynamic had a lot of growth in recent history, and perhaps the other person did not, or was not growing in the same way. And I think that was really the thing that kind of perhaps caused some of the conflict here. Not that growth is a bad thing, of course, but it kind of like split the two of you apart in some way. I also feel like perhaps you were waiting for this person to put in the love into this dynamic, put in the effort here, and I just feel like perhaps they weren't doing so. For some of you, there may have been a third party situation here, with the Three of Swords showing up twice and the Seven of Cups also coming in, and the Devil. That is certainly a possibility. We also have the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like you had to decide to walk away from something here because it became toxic. And I do feel like a big part of that might have been the overthinking that took place here. A lot of negative thinking was taking place. Could have also been some drinking involved with the Eight of Cups here showing up with the Devil. And again, we have what? Capricorn, Libra, Taurus, Aquarius showing up here. But I think overall, the thing that you need to recognize, I feel like this is your energy, Capricorn, showing up as the Empress here. I feel like the growth was yours. I feel like you're the person in this dynamic that had a lot of growth. Even if you were dealing with a Libra Taurus here, I feel like what this is saying to me is that you were growing in this situation and very nurturing, extremely nurturing. And I feel like you had to be the one to kind of call it quits here and walk away. But essentially, I think that this experience, and something you should recognize in yourself, is that this experience really opened up your ability to love, I want to say, unconditionally. Yeah, I do feel like that is something you stepped into here. Now that, to me, that does not mean you don't have regrets about this situation, that you don't have even still some frustrations and pain about this situation. But I think ultimately you were able to love this person unconditionally, even if you couldn't actually remain in the situation and accept, of course, the fact that they weren't putting in the amount of effort that they needed to. Just because we love something unconditionally doesn't mean we unconditionally accept bad behavior, right? And so I feel like that is coming through strongly. With that tender embrace card being a number 22, this was definitely a master level lesson and situation that really tested you and forced you to grow even further. Even though I do feel like that growth began some time ago, it really became obvious in this relationship dynamic. And you were just giving much more. I almost want to say you were more capable of giving even to this, because I do feel like this person was very stuck in their head a lot of the time, right? They didn't have perhaps even the mindfulness to take control of that habit. And again, there could have been some toxic habits taking place that you had to walk away from here. In the center row, we're looking at what your guides want to give you a pat on the back about, and we have the Royal You. And so I think something that they want to acknowledge that you have done here, you've not only had a lot of growth in yourself. This crown that's sitting atop this flower here makes me think of that Empress there. You can actually see there's some similarities to her crown and the one that's in this oracle card. And I do feel like you've had a lot of self-growth in your own love for yourself here. You've had a lot of growth when it comes to what you're willing to tolerate. Perhaps your ability to walk away from this situation, even though there was a deep love here, that demonstrated an intense love of self, right? With the Nine of Wands and the Three of Swords, you had to protect your heart. And not out of fear of being heartbroken, because that was already happening here, right? You had to protect your heart because it's what was healthy for you. And I do feel like you've done a lot of healing work in order to move towards your next part of your path here. And it required a big leap of faith to kind of go on this part of the journey. So let's see what else we get here. We get the Page of Cups and the Six of Swords. So it's like you were able to walk away with love. You know, when we get heartbroken, you know, we kind of put up that guard, right? That Nine of Wands. He's guarding his heart because he's been injured. He's guarding himself. He's got those boundaries up. And now we can always take that to an extreme, right? When we've been hurt, we can put up such strong boundaries that they're more like fortress walls that don't let anything in. And I think what you did here instead is you were able to set a boundary and protect yourself, but you did so in a way that was very loving. And you moved on in that way. It's like if you left this situation, you did it with love. You did it with perhaps even forgiveness. And perhaps you even communicated that to this person. Like, I love you, I forgive you, but I have to look out for me. And you moved on, right? With the Temperance card, that's some Sagittarius energy showing up there. We have the Page of Wands and the Nine of Swords. I do feel like the patience that you've had to have with this person has been difficult, because it's kind of to a point where, you know, where you just want to throw your hands up in the air like, oh my God, just figure it out. That's kind of what I feel like here. The maturity level that this person was working with was not good. And I think that caused a lot of stress. At the same time, I don't know, I want to say that you probably have maybe never had this much patience with anything. And so I feel like that's something that you're being kind of congratulated for. I also feel like you've been able to heal when it comes to your own mindfulness practice, your own perhaps emotions like anger and frustration and worry, you know, some of those more negative emotions that we experience. I feel like you've really worked on that in yourself, and that has set you on another level. So that's been something that you have actively worked on and healed, along with your, you know, broken heart that you've experienced as a result of this situation. With the Fool, we get the Tower and the Ten of Pentacles. So again, this situation breaking down was probably not what you had ever planned for, right? It may have really crumbled a family dynamic here. It could have been something that you were really working on with this person in order to build a full-blown legacy together. This could have been a family situation. Like, whether you were married or not, you may have had children together, you may have had home, cars, you know, the whole shebang with this person. And I do feel like that broke down and you had to, I almost feel like for some of you, you may have had to walk away with very little here, just to get yourself out. So take that as it resonates. But I do feel like you have made yourself a focus, your own growth a focus, and your own healing a focus, right? So in the future position of what good is coming towards you, we have change maker. Excuse the doorbell. I don't know why they do that. They drop a package and ring the doorbell. Like, what? Most people aren't at home, like me. So anyway, change maker, making waves, and then move beyond intention into belief. So I do feel like with those two coming out together, I feel like what might be coming in here is that, one, there's certainly some change, some movement, some choices that can be made here. But I feel like with the Seven of Cups, if you've been working on manifestation, for example, I feel like you're kind of you're taking more control here in order to create something. And so it's like, we can wish upon a star, right? Or set an intention, like the card says. And then there's a shift that takes place where our intention is so strong, it becomes something we believe. And then it has no choice but to show up. Right, so I do feel like there's some change coming in here, some movement for you. Got the Seven of Cups, the Chariot, and the Three of Pentacles. Some Cancer energy showing up here. Let's see what's going on. With the Seven of Cups, we have the Ten of Swords. So coming out of confusion here, yeah. Indecision. If you've had some situation that you haven't been able to make a choice about, or perhaps your choices, you felt like you've had so many choices about where things might go in the future that it's been difficult to just pick one and go with it. I do feel like that's coming to an end here. So I do feel like you're going to have some more clarity showing up. With the Chariot, the Two of Cups, and the Hanged Man. If you've been stuck in a situation, perhaps this situation here, I do feel like that's shifting as well. We got Pisces, Cancer showing up there with the Two of Cups. Could be a water sign coming in. Why the Hanged Man? Clarity again. So I feel like there could be someone coming in here that I feel like is the one that's going to make the waves. It could actually... And as I say that, the candle goes out. I don't know if you saw that on the camera. But somebody here is going to come shake some things up here. I think it's going to get you unstuck if you've been feeling that way. And with that indecision and lack of clarity, I could see that being the case. Like maybe not knowing the next step forward. I think clarity comes in, and it's going to come in quick. With the Three of Pentacles, we have Temperance showing up again, and the Three of Cups. Could be that somebody here wants to reconcile a situation and heal it. Could be this person from the past. I want to get a little more there. Change coming in. If you've been continuing to hope that this person would get it together, we had all this waiting energy, and now the waiting ends. It could very well be that this person gets with it, that there's some kind of shift in their belief, even. Let me get some more here. Let's get one more card for each of these. So I'd like some more detail. Now, end of confusion with the Ten of Wands. I think you're going to have a choice here with love. But I do think there's a soulmate coming in. And I feel like part of why you have a choice here, yep, this Knight of Pentacles, if this person was slow to get it together, they're going to show up at the same time as someone new shows up here. So that's what I'm getting. So heads up, it's coming in. And I set the intention for that row to be between now and the end of the calendar year. So I'm seeing the Emperor. And we already had you showing up here as the Empress. So definitely a divine counterpart. Again, I'm seeing Cancer. And a passionate new beginning. Look at that. We got the Ace of Wands again. So that Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Ha ha ha. Cancer. So I do feel like you probably have a water sign coming in. And I also feel like the person of the past is coming in. Oh yeah, look at that. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Wands, Four of Swords, Judgment. Yeah. You might be guarded against taking this person back. You may not feel like it's going to go anywhere, but they're coming in. They're coming in for another shot here. So I guess your decision here will be who you have a passionate new beginning with. Really quickly, I'm going to look at those two cards. If you want to hang around for that, get a little bit more info on those. Sacred activism, protecting Gaia and all life as divine, speaking your truth, honoring your beliefs, being a catalyst, a peaceful warrior capable of invoking extraordinary change. So there's a big shift coming in here for sure. And then we have that move intention to belief. Let's see what else it says. The importance of tradition and beliefs, working within a group, bringing your light to a conventional workplace, finding joy in a structured environment, shining your truth into the world, helping others, finding the key to your spiritual north, and learning to be your own guru. While I feel like that's definitely happening for you, I almost feel like there must be a shift happening for this past person here. So I hope you found that helpful, Capricorn. Looks like you got some exciting choices coming in. And congrats to you for all the work that you've done this year. It looks like you've you've been through it, but I feel like you've done it in a way that has been graceful. So kudos to you. I hope to see you in the December forecast, and I will catch you next time. Bye.